What's guys? So Secret Invasion episode 4 is officially released, and one episode this was I thought this episode was so good it gave us more of a graphics plan, especially involving the superskrulls and what was revealed from Rhodey all along, and even though with the ending there, I kill off a major character, and even though with that it's going to have Fury dealing with this war on his own, especially as in the last two episodes of the show as well, and so in this video will be my full review and explain for episode 4 of Secret Invasion, go over everything that went down, including go over my thoughts and even for my predictions about what's about to go down, even for the rest of the show as well. And so if you're new here, hey George, I listen, be sure to subscribe at the bell so I'm on video reviews. So let's get into it. And now we open the episode with Gaia who was shot by Gravik in the last episode, and then we see her using a graphics machine to turn herself into a super skull, and also regenerating powers. And even with that, so we see extremists, and even with that, so like she tries to heal her wound and try to make Gaia come back to life. And next we see this take place in Paris in 2012, the year of the first Avengers film, and then we see Nick Fury talking to his wife, and even with his wife who is aware of who the Avengers are, and also we see a newspaper, and even with that so that she's aware that Nick Fury assembled the Avengers, and then she tells him that the universe is like a dangerous place, and even though with that so because with Nick Fury who has helped this war on his own, but with no Avengers coming to defend him, even though with his wife who was aware of who the Avengers are. And next we see Rhodey and Nick Fury's wife in a church, and with her being aware that Rhodey fired Fury, and even with that with Rhodey telling his wife that she should kill Fury, but then even with his wife saying that with the Fury he is broken, he's been like that ever since he came back from the flame, which is true, because we see here Nick Fury who's all broken, with no one to defend him, who has had this war on his own, and he'll be exhausted. That's why we see that he is pretty much broken. And even with Rhodey who's definitely up to something, and even especially with his wife being told by him just to kill Fury, I think Rhodey is definitely about to do something that's about to go down, especially involving Fury. And next we see this tense conversation between Fury and his wife, and even with Fury being aware that his wife now has killed him because of Rhodey told her to, and even with that so because we all know with that Fury that he is definitely broken, and then we see him taking their guns out at the same time, and we see this conversation going, and then we see them trying to kill the other, and then from what we can possibly tell, that with his wife that then shot for Fury, and I think this is really a tense conversation. I think that this was a great, well-written scene. And next we see what is definitely being revealed about Rhodey all along, that he is indeed a Skrull, and then we see him and Fury at his apartment, and then they discuss there are Skrulls in the U.S. government, and then even with the Fury that was Rhodey for his job back, and then what we see Rhodey do is pull up the footage from the day that Maria Hill was killed, and then from what Rhodey assumed that it was Fury, but with Fury that said that it was Gravik, but even though even with Rhodey who is definitely not giving up Fury his job back, and then he kicks him out, and then even with Fury who is definitely had to fight this war on his own, especially with his next few steps. And now let's go over that crazy ending, and that as with our President Rhodey being attacked, and then we see with this attack that is going on with Fury and Tails joining on the fight, and then we see Tails getting shot, and then he breaks one of the corridor trying to get the president, the CG from what we assumed it was a soldier carrying Talos, but that soldier was actually the disguise as Gravik. And then the next scene we know he immediately kills Talos, and even with Talos who's now like killed off in this episode, and even so we see this reaction on Fury's face, because even as we see him as Tails is now gone, even so now it's up to Fury and Gaia to stop this war on their own, and I think they can do it on their own. I think there's gotta be some heroes who can step in, especially to help them, and even when it's Gravik is helping a super scroll, and I think this just got way bigger for what we're about to witness in the last 2 episodes. And with the episode 4 of Secret Invasion, I thought this was a great episode. It felt short. It definitely gave us everything, especially after that crazy ending, and now that Tails is not gone, especially with Fury and a guy who now have to solve this war on their own, and even for what Fury's next few steps are, and now that Tails and Mary Hill are now gone, and even for the show is gonna say that the landing, especially towards at the end of the show, I think it definitely will, especially as we have the last 2 episodes left. And even so I think that now is like a perfect time to call in some heroes to come in and defend them. And even so I think for one I retreat. So I really enjoyed this episode. And so that is gonna be for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And what your thoughts on episode 4 of Secret Invasion, and give me a rating to 1 out of 10. Give this video a like and subscribe to turn on notification bell for future videos, and also follow my socials, which are linked down below. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.